Hey, this is Andy Jenkins with the Oily App Plus podcast, and we have shifted gears here. We just finished a series on emotions. That was the Emotional Wholeness Checklist series, where really we built up and then talked through the feelings kit and really explained some of the reasons why you would want to walk in emotional health and how you can grow in that area. I want to shift in now and talk about physical health. And in this series, we're going to talk about the ketogenic diet. It is a high-fat, low-carb eating plan. It has been around for centuries. Now, it may seem like it's new to you because over the last year, 2 years, really about the last three, it has surged in popularity as people are talking more about dieting and nutrition on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on other social media platforms. This is a dieting plan. And I'll tell you, I tried this one. We've got a book out. The link is in the show notes. The title of it is, same as this series, Finding Keto. If you go to findingketo.online, you can find all of the information. You'll locate all of the information about the book, about the video courses that will explain to you how you can lose weight fast as opposed to losing weight slow, without going hungry as opposed to starving yourself, without growing tired because you don't have good fuel in your body, and without getting irritable like most dieting programs cause you to do. And so really that's just kind of the subtitle of that whole book there is you'll be able to lose weight without going hungry, without growing tired, without getting irritable. You'll be able to do it quickly in a healthy way. And in this series, we're really breaking that down. And even though a nutrition plan isn't necessarily Young Living Essential Oil specific, I tell you this, so often when we come to the world of Young Living, we've got to realize that it is a component. It is part of total health. You can't just wipe an essential oil on your body or diffuse it in the air or drop it in your hot tea or water. You can't just do that and then expect to reach maximum total health. It is part of that. And in the series, we'll talk about some of the key supplements that you need to lean into, some of them that I would recommend, some of them that Dr. Jim Bob, Ernie, some of the others on the Oily App team use regularly. But in this series, we want to step back and say, hey, if you've been in essential oil world for a while and you're struggling with weight, no shame. Let us give you a tool or resource that you can integrate into everything else that you're already doing. This one will be super simple. You can make this work anywhere, everywhere, without all these tricky, stringent things that you can do, can't do. Anyway, I'm going to talk with you from firsthand experience about a plan that will work. Okay, a lot of weight loss programs don't. Keto works with your body's need for fats, enabling you to melt the fat off your body, all while having more energy, thinking more clearly, enriching your mood. It works with your body's natural nutrient needs. It facilitates fast, rapid, healthy weight loss. Again, allowing you to not grow hungry, not grow tired, not get irritable. It's backed by science and real-world experience. This series is going to outline all of that. To go farther and learn more, I would encourage you to go to the video course. It's in Oily App Plus. So if you're a member of that, grab hold of that video or just grab hold of the book and launch right there into further study on your own. Here's an episode from a video course where we talked. I pulled the audio for you, and I'll be back at the end. I'm going to give you 6 benefits of keto beyond weight loss. And these, because in the last one, I actually basically just told you how to turn your body into a fat burner versus a fat store. Okay, if you eat sugar, if you eat carbohydrates, body works off of a worst in, first out. So it's going to burn sugar and it's going to tell your body to store fat, okay? And then as soon as that first bit of sugar is burned through, you're going to feel what's like a sugar crash. You probably feel this just about every single day if you eat carbohydrates. So it's very common for people late morning to be like, oh, God, you just feel ravenous because you got to eat something because for breakfast you ate a bagel or you ate a Pop-Tart or you drank orange juice. Whereas that's kind of not normal. Like it's more normal to kind of just be able to eat whenever you feel like you need to eat. Okay. Breakfast is a myth put out by the cereal people that like that's the most important meal of the day. It's just not, or it might be depending on what you're doing. But even that, like even guys that are farming, like they would get up at 4 a.m. They'd go work for a couple hours. Then they come in and then they eat breakfast, and their breakfast really kind of serves more like a lunch because they've already been out. Like it's crazy. So this idea that you got to get up in the morning and the first thing is like you're just ravenous is nuts. But when you're fueling your body consistently on carbohydrates and sugar, then what's happening is it's burning carbohydrates and sugar because the worst in, first out, and it's telling your body to store fat. You never tap into the fat because as soon as like the sugar's gone, your body's like, I need more. I need more. And as we discussed in the last video, it's not that you're hungry, or it's not that you don't have any available calories or any available fuel. Most adults are carrying around 130,000 calories of fat. Like they're carrying around 30 to 35 pounds they could burn through. And I'm not saying you should lose all of the fat. Like some of you actually need, but goodness, like what if we all just kind of lost a third of it, right? Or we just kind of tapped out and lost half of it or something like that. Man, you feel so much better because basically a lot of us are living like we're just carrying 20 and 30 pound dumbbells around all the time. Like just, it's crazy. All right. So in this video, here's what I want to do. I want to outline just 6 benefits beyond that weight loss issue, which by the way, a lot of times people say, well, how do I keep burning fat? Well, if you eat too many carbs, like that's over. So 20 grams of carbs a day to 50 grams of carb, that's kind of the target zone, 5% of your calories. I'm going to put some graphics that are going to show you all of this. It'll be super simple. I'll post them and I'll just break it right down. And then if you're an Oily At Plus, we'll put it all in there. In fact, the ebook and the audio book, this whole thing, it's like 250 pages. Like it's like me reading the book is in there. So you can kind of get in and you can just download it. We'll put it in there. We'll make it live tomorrow. So 6 benefits. Here's benefit number 1. Is your brain actually prefers for you to burn fat rather than sugar. Okay, so ketones are your brain's preferred fuel source. When you burn fat, your body releases ketones. And as I discussed earlier, people measure those ketones to kind of confirm that they're in ketosis, that they're burning fat. That's where the name of it comes from. Your brain actually prefers fat. That sounds really weird when you say it like I just said it, but think of the alternative. Your brain doesn't burn protein, okay? So the opposite is your brain either burns fat or your brain's running off of sugar. And if you're eating carbs, your brain is running off of sugar. Now, think about how your kids act when you feed them a bunch of candy or you feed them a bunch of, I gave one of my kids some, he was taking some snacks to school the other day. And so I reached up into the cupboard and I grabbed out some gummies. Okay. So embarrassing. And then so he's like, I can't have them. Like I can't take them to school. And I was like, yeah, that's a good, yeah, I don't know what I was even thinking, like giving you gummies. And he said, I'll act crazy. Like instantly. I mean, that's true. Like if you let your kids live off of sugar, like their brains just go, they just explode because your brain can't run off of sugar. Okay. So again, the opposite is for your brain to run off of fat. Maybe some of you that try this, whether you're doing it for health reasons or whether you're doing it for religious reasons, if you've ever fasted, there's this clarity that comes, okay? And I get it. Like if you're doing it for religious reasons, you're like, yeah, of course, because I was praying. Okay, yeah, it does. Absolutely. Even if you're fasting just for health reasons, there will also be this clarity that comes where somehow like you just kind of feel better and you think clearer. And here's why. It's because you suddenly eliminated the sugar. And even though you're hungry for a day or so, your body eventually figured it out. And all of a sudden, your brain is running off of fat, which is its preferred fuel source, rather than running off of sugar. Okay, that's benefit number 1. Benefit number 2 is this. By the way, go do a Google search later on keto and Alzheimer's and keto and dementia. They've actually used that nutrition plan with some results that you might be interested in, just as it relates to brain stuff right there. Number 2, second benefit is the keto diet, high-fat diet actually will elevate your mood. So here's why. GABA, it has a really pronounced, I'm going to look it up. It's on page 217 of this book. Gamma aminobutyric acid. It is a brain chemical, a neurotransmitter that actually elevates and enhances your mood. And it is released when you eat a high-fat diet. Now, think about how many times we eat, and when we're feeling down or depressed, we go grab ice cream, we go grab chocolate, we go grab other sorts of drinks that have all kinds of sugar in them. And in some sense, like we're trying to just kind of get me a pick me up. We're mood eating. I'm not saying you should never do that. Sometimes you just need the ice cream and the chocolate chip cookies, right? But the GABA is released naturally all the time it's a neurotransmitter, again, that elevates your mood as you're eating a high-fat diet, okay? That's benefit number 2, is it'll probably actually make you not even just think better, benefit number 1, but feel better, benefit number 2. Benefit number 3 is aging slows. Okay, so a high-fat diet will actually make you not look as old as fast. Here's why. Every time that you use your muscles every single day, this process called oxidation happens. Okay, oxidation is because your muscles, when you use them, they release free radicals, and those free radicals break down muscles, and they're the byproduct of muscles being used. And so over time, they just kind of wear down your muscles. Your muscles break down every single time you use them. Here's how it works when you work out. When you work out, you tear down your muscles. They rebuild stronger. They rebuild a little bit bigger. And then you can use them more the next time that you work out. That's how you get stronger, okay? But over time, your body starts looking distressed. And all you have to do, you don't have to work out for this to happen. All you got to do is just kind of get up and be alive tomorrow. Free radicals will be released. Your body starts wear and tear. In fact, people have said that aging is just a process of oxidation plus oxidation plus oxidation plus oxidation over time extended. Here's what else releases free radicals into your bloodstream, okay, which has the same effect of breaking down cells, wearing them out, tearing them up is, get this, carbohydrates, sugars. Guess what does not have that effect? High fat. Okay, so that's benefit number 3, is you kind of reverse and kind of take hold of that process if that's important to you. Number 4 is you jump off the crazy carb cycle and all the issues that come along with carbohydrates. So let me tell you some of the things that are the result of carbohydrates that people that don't eat high carb diets don't struggle with in other countries where they don't eat high carb diets. So obesity, okay? Not a big concern in countries that don't eat a lot of high carb diets. Type 2 diabetes, not a big concern. Arthritis, autoimmune improvement, chronic fatigue, erectile dysfunction, that's in there. Fibromyalgia, hormone balance, irritable bowel syndrome, joints, aches, metabolic dysfunction, Parkinson's, sleep disorders. All of these things are listed as issues that have carbohydrates can cause, or they can amplify the effects of. Okay, so what's crazy is back in the 90s, like people would say, eat a high carb diet, eat a high carb diet, eat a high carb diet. You'd have these issues. They'd say, hey, the solution is to go eat more carbs. Well, eat more carbs. Carbs actually enhance or cause all these issues. And so by, again, getting rid of fat, it's like this crazy carb cycle where you have an issue and you treat it by getting rid of fat. So you eat more carbs, but yet carbs enhance this. So you go get more advice to eat more carbs. It enhances it again. At some point, you just decide to step off that cycle. Okay. Benefit number 5 is you feel full when you stop eating carbs. I talked about this one in a live video not too long ago. There's 2 big hormones related to hunger, okay? Leptin and ghrelin. Leptin decreases hunger. Ghrelin increases hunger, okay? Leptin decreases hunger. Ghrelin, you just kind of think it's like, grrr, ghrelin, grrr, I'm hungry, like I'm starving, feed me, okay? Ghrelin increases hunger, okay? So fats actually cause you to release leptin in your body. They make you feel satiated. They make you feel full. This is when you eat certain foods that are high in fat. You eat a couple eggs with some avocado or guacamole on top of it, and you're like, man, I feel really satisfied right now, right? Fats do that. Carbohydrates actually cause the release release of ghrelin, which causes you to actually feel hungrier and to reach out and grab more food. So you think about it like this. You go to the Mexican restaurant, they put this bowl of chips on the table. Those are all carbohydrates. That means they're all sugar. Okay, so it's basically giant candy bars in a different packaging that doesn't taste as good because it looks like a chip, not a candy bar, but you eat it. Same effect because your body takes in the macro and your body interprets the macro. The macro of carbs tells your body what to do with it, which is start burning sugar, start storing fat. It releases ghrelin. Oh, all of a sudden, like I'm hungry. Or you get to the Mexican restaurant and you're like, I could wait for another 30 minutes to eat, but they put those chips, you're like, I'll just have one. Boom. Wait, I need one more. Boom. Oh, I need two more. Boom. I need, all of a sudden, like you've killed the chips and then you still eat all your food. It's because of all that ghrelin that made you just ravenously hungry. This is why when you go to the Cheesecake Factory with my girls, that's their favorite restaurant in the whole world. You could get rid of every grocery store. You could get rid of every other restaurant. You could just have Cheesecake Factories. That's it. Just everywhere. And they would be completely fine. But they bring out all this bread, and by bringing out the bread, it not only assures that you'll eat most of your oversized plate of food that they bring you, but that you'll also order the cheesecake because it is an appetite stimulant anytime that you eat a carb, okay? On the other hand, when you eat fats, they satiate you, they make you feel full, and so you don't wander around. Like you don't have that mid-afternoon crash where at 3 o'clock, you're like, I got to have something now. I got to get my coffee. Think about the coffee. Are you really craving coffee in a wake up, or are you craving cream and sugar? Probably craving cream and sugar, not coffee, just to be honest, right? And just to check it, like try to drink plain coffee tomorrow and see if you get the same result. Okay, just a thought. Sixth and final benefit, and then we'll come back in video number 4, and I'll tell you some of the best products to use as you kind of go on this journey. Sixth and final benefit is this, is if you go on a high-fat diet, moderate protein, high-fat, moderate protein, so 75, 80% of your calories high-fat, 15 to 20% protein, 5% carbohydrate, okay? So very, very little bread, very little sugars, no chips. That means you're going to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of salad, not much fruit. In fact, every day I eat usually a salad with some kind of protein on it. So eat eggs, green beans. Anyway, if you do that, your body has a consistent fuel source and you're going to burn. This is the benefit. You're going to have consistent fuel. So you're going to be able to do your daily duties without going hungry. You get hungry, you eat. If you're not hungry, you don't eat. You're hungry, you eat. It's easy as that. You're not hungry, you don't, because your body is not getting that sugar crash that's ongoing because you've got that consistent fuel source that's there. 130,000 calories, 30, 35 pounds, the average American adult has on them, ready to just burn through. Okay, and your body doesn't care, again, if it's eggs, guacamole, something that you ate 3 hours ago, or if it's something that's sitting on your belly that you ate 30 years ago. If it's Krispy Kreme donuts, it'll burn through that fat, okay? So, video number 4, I'll be back in 60 to 90 seconds, and I'm going to tell you the products that I use to kind of supplement that journey. And then we'll go back, add some graphics that have the ratios and all the kinds of stuff that you need, give you a list of the foods that are keto friendly versus keto foes. And that's it. We'll wrap.
So that is the installment for today. I would encourage you to make note and listen to this entire series. In each episode, we can just give you a piece of the puzzle, but make sure you just grab the whole puzzle by listening to all 4 episodes here in this series. As I mentioned earlier, this audio comes from a video course that we taught in OilyApp Plus. Go to oilyapp.com/plus or just hit the homepage. OilyApp Plus is really like having, we call it the Netflix of essential oils. So it is like having
just a library of resource after resource of video courses that you can watch. You can rewatch as many times as you'd want. You can log in from all of your devices. There is no contract. You can pay by the year and get a discount, or you can pay by the month and just kind of test drive it, get in, watch what you want, and then get out. All of that information about the ketogenic diet and the previous series we did on the emotional wholeness checklist and more is all available there. One last announcement for you. Watch our social media feeds at Oily App. That's on Facebook and Instagram. We'll send it out on our email blast as well. We have an event, a live half-day event coming up this May where we are going to unpack and talk all about emotions. Back in 2020, we decided we were going to do some live events, some big live events. And by now, you know how 2020 went. And you know that the live events, they kind of got scrubbed. And so we began doing some larger online events. Our plan is still to get live, to meet and interact with people face to face. We love doing that. If you've ever been to the vendor hall when we're at a Young Living Convention or some other large event, it is something that we absolutely love. And so we thought we've done events before, not as Oily App, but in other facets as pieces and parts of other teams. So we thought, let's just bring that all together. And then 2020 happened. So at the beginning of this year, January the 8th, we actually did a workshop on life planning and goal setting and life management and stewarding your time and energy and focus. We're going to do it again on emotions. So watch our social feeds for that announcement. It's coming up soon. I'll see you again next week.